Hey guys, did you miss me? I'm sorry, it's been so crazy around here. We got some enormous news around this household, and I will not be announcing that sadly quite yet. Maybe in my next few videos. I promise I'm going to try and upload more. This video is just to show you some of my favorite supplies and most used supplies when I make resin. Hopefully you can get some inspiration, maybe some new ideas. Maybe I can help you with something that you've been having trouble with. If you want to know where I bought anything, please leave it in the comments because there's just too much to link. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. It would help me out. I'm usually pretty good about responding to comments, so I will get back to you if you leave a comment. Excuse me. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to show you is my absolute favorite mold, and it is this right here. This is a silicone heart mold. My focus is going in and out. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but you can see it's insanely shiny, like blinded by the light. Oh my God, I love it. I use these all the time, constantly. They are my #1 go-to favorite mold. As you can see, I got a pour back here, and more than half of the molds that I'm pouring in will be these shiny silicone hearts. You do not have to glaze at all whatsoever when you pop out of these molds. I got these molds, some of them from a lady on Facebook, and then she didn't have any more. She had some similar ones, but I needed the exact same. And so a fellow YouTuber, well, first she was a fellow Facebook groupie in a group that I used to be in, which I'm not in anymore, and I'm going to post a rant video as to why very shortly, because I'm very, very pissed off about it. Anyway, her name is Wendy, and she's great. She has a really nice channel. You can go and check her out. Wendy B, I think her name is. I'll try and link her in the description, but she went on the hunt. I posted an in search of, and she found a pack of 6 of these on Amazon.com for me. They were originally produced by Daiso, but Daiso discontinued them. So if you have these, holla at your girl, because I will literally give you one of my feet for some of these molds. I absolutely love them, and I pour in them constantly. So it's my favorite mold. I'm going to try and not ramble as much about each item, but we'll see what happens. You know how I am with the rambling. These are my favorite scissors. These are the scissors that I use to cut my images out and my stickers and such, because a lot of my stickers, like as you can see with these right here originally come with like a blue border around them, but I like to cut them out so that they look like this. So I need very detailed scissors. Sometimes I'll cut off all the color around them, and these are absolutely perfect. Not only are they very sharp and very precise, but at the tips of them it's going to be very hard to see, but they are slightly beveled at the ends. So they do come to a complete point at the top. They do not, like they're not the same width. They do go off, like I don't know if you can see or if you can tell what I mean, but they're just, there you go, you can see a little better. They're just absolutely perfect for getting around small edges. They're by Fiskars. They were $15, and I did buy 2 pairs of them just in case, and these have lasted me quite some time. As you can see, they're very dirty. I do use them for other things other than cutting images, and they have kept their sharpness like a boss. Like, these are boss scissors. They are amazing. I swear by Fiskars. Another thing I love is Mod Podge. I use this to seal my paper stickers and my printed images that are not printed on paper that does not have to be sealed. I watched a lot of tutorials on how to seal paper stickers with Mod Podge, but a lot of them did not mention which kind of Mod Podge or show you. And the gloss kind in the it wouldn't be one of my YouTube videos if I didn't stumble over my words, now would it? The orange kind is the one that I like the best. As you just saw this sheet of stickers here, this is my favorite way of sealing paper stickers. You can see on the front that they have lines over them. If you use this method, you don't have to worry about that. That completely disappears. All you do is stick the stickers onto a piece of plastic that other stickers or sticker packages, just any type of sheet plastic will work. And then you just coat over them with about 3 or 4 coats of Mod Podge, letting it dry in between, being careful to not let any air bubbles on the surface of your stickers because they will show in your resin. So then you just cut them out, leave a little border around the edge, and stick them right in your resin. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and that's why I love my Mod Podge. Another thing that I absolutely love is Tester's paint. This is one of my latest new obsessions. I cannot wait to use this really pretty blue color, but I use this to color my 10-minute resin. Now, if you buy this tester's paint, first of all, it has terrible fumes. It is very, very, very strong. So I highly suggest wearing a mask when you use it. But another thing is that if you do get it, it has to say enamel up at the top. It can not, if it says acrylic, all it's going to do is bubble up and ruin your resin. So make sure that it says enamel at the top. I've made that mistake before. They do have many, many pretty colors that come in the enamel, but just make sure you get the enamel kind if you do decide to get it. So I have a tutorial on that. Check in my tutorials playlist if you're interested on how to color 10-minute resin. Another one of my favorite additives is micro beads, micro marbles, whatever you want to call them. These are two of my favorite colors that I use the most, this blue and this pink. So pretty, and I think they just add such a cute effect. So I love using these, as well as glitter in a lot of my pieces. This is my absolute #1 favorite confetti. The color is not going to transfer. It's a beautiful, vibrant, hot, hot pink. And it comes in this huge bag that you get from Hobby Lobby that's only $2. And this bag is stuffed when you get it. This has literally lasted me probably almost my entire resin career, so probably close to over a year. You just use a pinch of it, and you know what? Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is my second bag, but still, 2 bags in over a year is pretty darn good if you ask me, and I still have a little bit of the bag left. So I actually ordered more from a girl on Facebook because I lost my truck key the other day. Womp, womp, womp. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a locksmith out here to make a new one. Shoot me in the face, because I have not been out of my house since trick-or-treating. Like, we literally have gone nowhere. I had to walk to the post office the other day, but it's okay because there was a diner on my way home. So I rewarded myself with a waffle. Oh, it was delicious. Another thing that I love to use in my resins, resin lights. These I bought from a new seller, not the original seller that started selling them. When I got the first lights from the original seller of them, they had holes in them and they just were very, very poorly made. These are amazing. They are a world of difference. They're just so, the line is so clean. Like when I said holes, like you see how there's kind of like a bubble right there? Well, in the other ones, that bubble would be all the way popped out to the sides. And it didn't affect the way the light worked or anything, but I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the quality. I didn't trust them. These are much thinner. They're much lighter. They're way more easily activated. All you have to do is move these and they light up. The other ones, you have to like drop or tap. Some of them are a little, you can see, some of them are a little more sensitive than others. This one doesn't light up as easy, but as you can see, all I have to do is tap my table and a bunch of them will go off. So these resin lights are one of my favorite things to use in my resins, especially this time of year. You know, it gets dark so early, so shine a little light on me. Put a little light in your life with a light up resin. I love these little heart pearls. They are so cute. I use them in all kinds of my resins. I have pearls, I have hearts, I have bows. I have this entire drawer full. There's like hundreds in here, and there's stars down at the bottom, and these just look cute in any type of resin that you make. So there's all different colors. There's one of the stars right there, so you can see an example. But there's black, there's red, there's brown, there's pink. There's like every single color you can think of in every shape, and I love putting these in my resin. One thing that I really like about them is that a lot of plastic or I don't know, other materials like buttons and such, if you put them in your resin, sometimes they'll melt and they'll lose their shape and they'll become translucent or transparent. These look exactly like this when the resin cures. So they keep their shape, they keep their color, they keep their opacity, and I just think they look so cute. So another thing that I wanted to show you was the stir sticks that I prefer. I like the fat ones a lot better, just because I feel like they scoop out of the cups a lot easier than the thin ones do. But I also, the thinner, but I also use the very, very thin ones to press down my images, so that way I don't like, you know, pick up a whole bunch of resin when I come back up from sticking it down, because that makes a bunch of bubbles. So I just feel like the thinner ones are a lot easier. Speaking of which, which I also use head pins a lot. And what I use these for is my house is very old, so it's quite dusty up in my craft room. And a lot of times when I'm sitting and waiting for my resin just to get tacky, it'll get little pieces of dust inside of it. So before I put my images in, I kind of just search in the resin for little dust pieces and particles and just kind of use the head pin to pick them out, as well as bubbles, because in these scalloped hearts, for example, sometimes down in the corners of the scallop part, I don't know what it would be called, the scallops, I don't know, they'll get little bubbles like down in the corner. So I just kind of like to dig in and kind of pull it up to the top and either pop it or get in there with my lighter or whatever. One of them actually had a gnat land in them earlier. I don't know where these stinking gnats are coming from, but they're driving me nuts. So I had to go in there and dig his little dead body out of it. So these are very, very handy for, also if your resin is super tacky and you have to move something inside of it, these work really well too, because they don't, like I said, disturb a whole bunch of the resin, causing more bubbles and more unnecessary calamity inside of your resin. I also wanted to show you, I'm not sure if I have any, yeah, I have a clean one right here. These are my cups, my stir mix cups of choice. I got these on Amazon, and I think Mindy found them for me, but I'm pretty sure if you just search like medicine measuring cups or whatever, that these will pop up. What I really like about these is the bottom is completely flat. There's no indents, there's no little bumps, there's no nothing. Some of them curve up in the middle, and some of them have like signals or signs or whatever in the bottom, and it makes it feel bumpy. And these are just really easy to scrape all around the bottoms. And also I like that there's a lot of measurements on this. There's milliliters, there's cc's, there's drams, there's ounces, and there's tablespoons. So any type of measuring that you want to do, you can do in these, as well as you can just let your resin cure inside of this and pick it off at a later date. But I don't like to do that. I'm impatient, and I like to reuse my cups right away. Sometimes I'll mix in these, and sometimes I'll mix in little tiny, like, Tupperware-ish containers like these right here. This is 2 of them stacked on top of each other. So I'll measure in this, and then I'll pour and stir in. Oh, there we go. That was easy. Pour and stir inside of something like this. This also is made out of a certain type of plastic to where I can just let it cure inside of here. But like I said again, I usually just end up wiping it off so I can use it again right away. If I do need to wipe it off, my last but not least, the absolute necessity, baby wipes. You have to have baby wipes if you do resin. They are amazing for getting resin off your hands, for wiping resin out of your little cups. I reuse my stir sticks unless I'm mixing colored resin. If I'm mixing some kind of resin with some kind of pigment in it, I won't reuse it. But if it's just clear resin, I'll just take a baby wipe the end of it off, and then stick it back in my collection. And I only have to buy stir sticks, I don't know, once every 5 or 6 months or so. So that comes in really, really handy. I find that the cheaper brands, these are from Dollar General. I have another Parent's Choice. I have another thing of them down there on the floor that I have yet to open because these are almost gone. I find that the cheaper brands leave less lint behind. If you get like Huggies or Pampers or something, and Pampers especially is the worst. It leaves so much lint behind, and if you don't get it out when you're done wiping whatever you're wiping, if you don't get the lint off, it'll end up in your next pour. So that's kind of just like a super pain in the butt. So yeah, baby wipes are an absolute necessity. Use them to get wet resin off your hands, and then immediately go wash them with dish detergent, because that is the most easiest and best way that I have found to do that so far. So hopefully you got inspired, maybe saw some things that you wanted to try. Like I said, if you have any questions, just please leave them down in the description, because I'm not going to leave any links. There was just too many things that I showed in this video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I love when I can inspire you ladies, and I will see you in a few days with a resin update. Thank you so, so much. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe and stick around for more resin updates, resin videos, squishies, cute babies, and all kinds of stuff. We do all kinds of stuff on this channel. So I will see you next time. I love you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Mwah.